Mr. Doo was originally created by Universal in 1982 and was one of the first arcade games to be released as a conversion kit. The object of Mr. Doo is to score as many points as possible by digging tunnels through the ground and collecting cherries. Whilst collecting the cherries, Mr. Doo is constantly chased by red monsters resembling small dinosaurs, which can cause you to lose a life if Mr. Doo is caught by one. Mr. Doo can defeat the monsters by hitting them with his bouncing power ball or by dropping large apples on them. While the power ball is bouncing towards the monster, Mr. Doo is defenseless. As you can see, the Apple II port is quite pretty looking considering the limitations of the hardware it's running on. The speed at which the game runs is also impressive. What we have here is a good all-round conversion. The Atari 8-bit home computer ports play rather sluggishly, resulting in tedious gameplay. However, there is one advantage to this port, and that is the fire option becomes available much quicker between each shot than it does in other ports. This BBC Micro port is even more sluggish than the Atari 8-bit version. The terrible collision detection also doesn't help with the gameplay, plus there are crazy control options to deal with as well. A is left, D is right, W is up and space is down. Why on earth is space used for down? Oh, and return is fire, just in case you're wondering. Commodore 64 received an official home port when it comes to the main 8-bit home computers of the time, C64, Amstrad CPC and the ZX Spectrum. And what a decent port it is. Very playable with good presentation, complete with music. The Colecovision port sounds pretty good, however it's a shame the same can't be said about the way it looks. Still, the graphics are presentable and do make a certain other 8-bit console look poor. Gameplay wise, this port isn't too bad, although at times Mr. Do can get stuck. Coming to us from Ocean, this Game Boy port is far more hectic than other versions, offering an all-new challenge. The game also features a new soundtrack which really does add to the tense gameplay. This Super Famicom port looks very close to the arcade version and even sounds like it. It even has the same arcade high score input screen, which most other versions don't have. If you're looking for a near arcade perfect port of Mr. Do, then this is the one to go for. It even has a special 2-player battle mode in which you and another player must battle for points, as well as avoid being killed. Another excellent arcade port here for the X68000. This is volume 10 of Denpa's Arcade Anthology collection. It's as close to the arcade original as you can get. However, I personally still prefer the Super Famicom version, as that is more accessible and has the battle mode included. If you do own an X68000 though, this is the version to get. Again, another pretty slow version of Mr. Do. This MSX version features an annoying gameplay bug, which has you wondering why on earth the stage will not end at times. You see, in order to complete the stage, you must collect all the cherries like in all the other versions. However, in this port, the cherries take up more than just one sprite box, meaning that you may not be able to see the cherry as you have removed the sprite, but it's still there as far as the game is concerned. This means you end up running around the stage hoping to devour the last remaining cherry piece that you can't actually see. Well, what did you expect? This is Atari 2600 after all. This is as basic as we can get when it comes to Mr. Do. It's a noble attempt, but it's just not very good. Most of this boils down to the poor AI. The enemies basically copy your joystick inputs most of the time, meaning they mimic your every move. This is rather frustrating and can lead to unfair deaths. And let's take a look at all those versions of Mr. Do running side by side.